Wednesday morning, and probably I probably am on the same page as you are, quite low. I need something to ease back into, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do this morning, sort of slowly get the body moving again. I know you probably go for walks and keep active, but so just doing probably a few things, attending to a few muscles you may have not used for a few days, few weeks. I'd love to start standing up, and then we slowly take it down to the floor. So nothing too strenuous, I'd say. And we actually start quite easy. So you can take your feet about hip distance apart, just find a stable stance. And we start with a little bit of, there's not really a word. I think there's a word in Sanskrit, it's called spanda, which means divine vibration. So what we're going to do, we're kind of just letting the body shake a little bit. So you can just come into a little bit of a rhythm. So I'm lifting my heels up, so my whole body just starts to rock, almost drops down towards the earth. You may feel the weight of your shoulders. So just let it, so no specific alignment, feel that kind of heaviness, get a bit of a bounce, but more of a shake. So just, if it feels too strenuous, even lifting the heels, just letting the shoulders drop, letting the head, the arms drop. So just find kind of softness. There's really just like a heavy bag of, I don't know, anything. So just finding that way to soften into the body. So a bit of so just really more like a shake, more like a controlled shake, which probably feels a little bit weird. So just shaking out anything that feels heavy, even from the past year. So, and connect it also to your breath. So as you found your probably rhythm a little bit, just begin to breathe in through your nose if that feels okay. Good. And out through your nose, out through your mouth. Lovely. And then last one here. And then bring that movement back to stillness. If it feels okay, close your eyes. And drop back into your body. How does it feel? So maybe it feels like that vibration is still going on. Stay for about 3 breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through a wide mouth. And let go of that stale energy. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Really sigh it out. Last deep breath in through your nose. Exhale. Good. And then if you hold your eyes closed, open your eyes again and just come into a bit of that twist. So you can keep it also quite soft here. You can come onto the tips of your toes, looking over your shoulders. So again, floppy arms, heavy arms. So just starting really easy. Maybe if you have space, so really keep your arms quite long, quite heavy, a bit like a helicopter. You may want to give yourself a tap on the shoulder. So explore different level, height levels of your arms. If they're a little bit further down around your hips, it's less of a twist, but the twist is kind of more situated around your lower mid-back, and the higher you take up your arms, the higher it also moves that twist into your upper ribs, shoulders. So really slowly kind of wringing out the body, wringing out the muscles around your spine. Good. So really no specific aim, no specific goal, just letting the body move in ways you probably haven't done over the past few days. Maybe there's a bit of a click here, maybe a little bit of a pull there. So keep it quite safe, keep it accessible. And then instead of just stopping straight away, let that movement slowly but surely come back to stillness. Good. And then as you bring your hands, your body back to stillness, then find that complete stillness again. Feel your arms kind of hanging from your shoulders. Feel the feet planting into the earth. If you want, you can close your eyes. Once more, sense into your body, sense into your breath. 3 deep breaths, taking in the new year. So we're creating a bit more space. Today we are getting the body ready and the mind ready to face another 12 months. Lovely. So with your next breath, bring your arms out to the sides. Take your thumbs, let your thumbs point forward first and thumbs out to the sides and back. We're drawing the shoulders back so the chest might lift. Gives you a stretch for the front body, for your arms. And inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands towards your heart center. So a few more rounds here, bring the breath up into the upper parts of our lungs. Do those kind of stages with your hands. Feel how you might feel a little bit longer, a little bit taller. Inhale, lengthening. Arms up, exhale. Slowly draw them towards your heart center. Lovely. Couple of more rounds here in your own time with your own breath. Thumbs out or to the sides and back, and then reaching all the way up. Lengthening as you breathe in. Exhale, slowly draw the hands down. So feel how just that slightly different holding of the shoulder creates maybe more space, maybe lets you feel a bit taller, maybe a bit more confident. So just finding not just that physical benefit, but also the emotional and energetic benefit. So 2 more rounds. So thumbs out to the sides, all the way back. Maybe stay for just a breath and then continue as you rise your arms up. And bring your hands back towards the heart center. Good. So that also clears out some tension from the shoulders. Good. And once you're finished, keep your thumbs, keep your hands resting by your breastbone, by your heart center. And just turn your head looking over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder. So stretching gently through your neck. And also notice, how does it feel? Does one side feel a bit stiffer than the other side? Lovely. Last one here on each side. And then release your hands down. Give your shoulders a little bit of a shrug, so some shoulder rolls. So I always recommend rolling your shoulders up and back, because that really offsets that kind of more natural movement where we kind of hunch forward. So drawing the shoulders back naturally lifts that upper body, lifts the rib cage. So if you kind of notice your speed now, take it 1 notch or 2 notches down. So going a little bit slower. And how does that feel on your shoulders? Does it feel more difficult? Do you feel, oh yeah, it's actually a few things. So taking things slower might give you a little bit more insights into some nuances. Lovely. And then just let your shoulders rock. So just shrugging your shoulders, maybe one at a time, both at the same time. So your choice. And then shaking your arms out. Oh. So even just those simple arm movements with the breath brings just more space into the upper body. makes it easier to breathe. So from here, still standing. So bring your right fingertips onto your right shoulder and take your left arm out to the sides and tilt your head towards your fingertips. And then change sides. So left fingertips onto your left shoulder as you turn your head towards the left. And very slowly change again. So keep it intentionally quite slow as we are stretching through the neck, through our arms, through the forearms, upper arms. And keep it more of a tilt of your head towards the side, so where your ear moves towards one shoulder. And once you found your rhythm, pay attention to your breath. So on the inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, tilt your head towards one side. And stay almost for the full length of the inhale and exhale. So it's a little bit like nerve flossing as we are tilting the head, your neck lengthening all the way down. You may want to play maybe with just taking the arms slightly lower. How does that change the quality of your stretch? And if it feels strenuous, also notice, do you hold your breath? Do you stop breathing? So just gentle warming up of your shoulders, your neck. So again, nothing strenuous. You can always just have a lesser tilt in your head, in your neck. One more on each side. And release your arms again. So even that in itself might feel quite heavy arms. So give your arms a bit of a shake. And just gentle kind of neck circles. So keep it probably just as half circles. So avoid throwing the head back we don't want to overstretch the delicate neck area. So just perhaps move it into directions you haven't explored before. Good. And then return back to neutral and also back to stillness, just standing here. Once more, feeling your feet making contact with the earth. So feeling into your legs, your knees, your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your chest. Do you carry yourself differently? Are you a little bit more lifted, taller? How does the breath flow? Good. And then from here, bringing a little bit of, well, it probably looks like a dance, probably for the especially male population. So cross your right foot over your left foot, please. And take your left hand out in front of you as you're kind of holding a ball, and then bring your right hand up and over. So it looks a bit like a dance, and look down towards your left, towards your left shoulder, towards your right foot. And breathe into that right side of your body. Good. Changing sides, step back, bring your arms down, crossing the left foot over, right arm comes in front, and looking down towards your left foot, towards your right shoulder, breathing into the left side of your body. Changing here, again, stepping over, crossing, so your arms may automatically move. Explore perhaps different positions with your head. You may want to turn your head up and down. Change again. So stay probably on each side, maybe for 2 or 3 breaths as you explore. Maybe explore bringing the arm, making the arm a little bit more active, the top arm. How does it translate into a stretch? So exploring here. Neck, side stretches. Bring a little bit of grace into that posture as well. So same time, balance. If you want to challenge yourself in terms of balance, come into the posture and close your eyes. Do you feel stable or do you feel wobbly? Maybe with eyes closed, perhaps lift your head up towards the top arm and to bring it down. So explore here, giving you a few more moments to play with the postures. Which side feels easier? Where's balance easier? You can always adjust your foot a little bit, maybe take it further across, maybe bring it closer. So just a few things to play with. As we are just bring the body in different shapes. So yoga is literally making shapes. So finish your last side here. And then coming back down. Whew. So maybe a little bit more of a twist. Again, twist it out. Does it feel easier? Maybe you feel like, oh, it's more accessible. It feels a bit more freer, more spacious in between your ribs. So any twist creates more space between the vertebrae. Good. Maybe as a click here, I just have my ankle cracking. Good. And then find also here your way back to neutral stillness. Whew. So once more checking in, how do you feel? Has your energy level maybe is a slight change? Do you feel a bit more alive? So little things make a difference. Doesn't have to be the yoga posture, literally just some movement. Okay, increasing circulation for the body. You can take your feet about hip distance apart as we are beginning to lean forward. So arms up, reaching up, lengthening. Exhale, bring your arms out to the sides as you same time lean forward, just folding forward. Keep the first forward fold quite simple, quite easy, without straining the back of your legs. Slowly rolling up, chin towards your chest, arms come up again as you lengthen. And then exhale, arms again to the sides, leaning forward, bending your knees as you fold over your legs. Slowly rolling up, taking it kind of slowly vertebra by vertebra. Shoulders roll back, arms out to the sides, lengthen as you inhale. And exhale, arms to the sides, leaning forward, just Also notice, how does the third forward fold feel? Maybe it's still the same. Perhaps you already feel like things are beginning to loosening up in the back body, slowly uncurl. So find your own little rhythm here again as you lengthen. Inhale into the tops of your lungs, exhale, folding forward. If you fold forward, maybe just stay for 1 or 2 breaths and let go of any tension in your neck and your head. Perhaps say yes, say no. And then uncurling again, rolling up, heavy arms. So even that uncurling stretches the back body. Last one here as you reach up, lengthen. And exhale, arms out to the sides, leaning, folding forward. Stay in that last forward fold once more for 2 to 3 breaths if it feels okay. Breathing into to the backs of your legs, keeping your knees bent, protecting the lower back, and slowly rolling back up to standing. And curling the shoulders back. So take a moment just to land. Sometimes blood pressure takes a little bit to adjust. Good. So taking one more movement to the sides. Bring your right arm up and then slide your left hand down. Keep it as a side bend. Engage your belly, your abdominals as you come back up to standing, and change, a bit like a windmill, that movement as you slide down, leaning over to the right side. So lengthening, stretching for the waist, for your hips. Coming back to center, once more over to the second side. Good, one more on each side, so keep it balanced. It's always good to have the feet a little bit wider. It gives you proper stability. You may be able to maybe just bring the upper body a little bit more over to the opposite side. Good, and then coming back to center. Couple of shoulder rolls again. And just a little bit more kind of natural movement. Any movements, you can come into a twist, you can just move your body, kind of get rid of those in-betweens. So keeping it not just linear, but also quite circular. Good. You can even make a fist, maybe bring the fists together as if you just, what is it? Is it rugby? Is it baseball? It's probably baseball. So without doing that kind of forceful movement, just that stretch for the upper body, bit of a twist. So you're lengthening, you're taking it over to the opposite side. Maybe you draw circles, perhaps a figure of 8. Just clearing out the cobwebs from 2021. And you can even take your feet a little bit wider, bring it into a kind of movement, also going into your knees. You can fold forward, knees bend. You can then make your way back up towards the ceiling. Good. So again, an easing in. Yes, good. Lovely. And slowly, if you made a fist, bring your arms or release your hands, your arms again, and coming back up to standing. Again, simple movement, so effective. Take your feet a little bit hip distance apart. Sit in your invisible chair, your hands rest on your thighs. So we're coming to standing cat and cows. So the same movement here where we arch the spine, it's a bit like sticking our bottom up. So the tailbone lifts up, chest lifts, chin lifts. And on the exhale, rounding the spine, chin towards your chest as you make really cat back. Inhale, release, bottom goes back, chest lifts, shoulder blades draw together. Good, exhale, rounding your spine, kind of curling together, creating more space in between the shoulder blades. Reverse, inhale. And exhale. So if there are any knee issues, that's always like an alternative to doing it on the floor. Inhale, lengthening. So visualize your spine is literally doing those same movements. So we're taking spine into extension as the chest and belly kind of feels a bit of a stretch. And on the exhale, rounding the spine, chin towards your chest. Last one here, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, rounding your spine. And then coming back to neutral all the way up. Whew. So, lovely. From the back of your mat, depending how you feel, so there's the option you can move into downward dog. If you don't feel like moving into downward dog, just fold forward and then roll back up again, curl back up again. So otherwise you have the option then to walk into your downward dog. Good. From the back of your mat, arms out to the sides, reaching up, lengthening. Big inhale into the tops of your lungs. Exhale, arms out to the sides. Fold forward. Upper body kind of releases down. Halfway lift. Looking towards the front of your mat. Option here, exhale, either stay in it forward fold or bring your hands down, walk into your downward dog. Pedaling out your feet. So again, find that stretch for your calves. Wiggling through your bottom, so swaying left to right. Again, it's more finding those areas that need a little bit more of a stretch. If you're still in standing forward fold, you can slowly roll up towards standing. If you're in downward dog, you can walk your hands back towards your feet, keeping the knees bent and also uncurling, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Good. Having your feet wider is always a good way to kind of go in and out of the posture. So optional here is we're doing one more or a couple of more downward dogs. You can turn both feet towards the long edge of your mat, bending your knees just a little bit. So it creates more of a stretch on the right, turning your toes back to center, turning your toes to the opposite side, a little bit of a bend, a bit of a bounce, and then walking your hands back to center. So it's optional. You can stay in your usual downward dog or just fold forward. Arms out to the sides if you want to join me in that kind of stretchy downward dog. Exhale, arms out to the sides, fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Hands down or just stay in that forward fold. Find your posture, maybe a little bit of a stretch for your calves first. And from here, you can lift up onto the balls of your feet. Turn your toes perhaps towards the right, bending your knees. So your hands, your upper body takes most of the weight. Turning your toes back to center. Perhaps turn the toes to the opposite side. Bending the knees slightly, a bit of a bounce. Turn your toes back to center. And then walking your heels, walking your hands back. And slowly uncurling vertebra by vertebra. Again, anytime you come back up from the floor, notice how does blood pressure respond. Good. Bit of a standing back bend. Bring your hands behind your back, make a fist. So a couple of options here. You can bring your fist down, push your fist down towards the earth, squeezing shoulder blades together. If that feels strange for some reason, keeping the elbows bent and your fist kind of press it against your the flat bit of your pelvis, and breathe into that front body. So drawing the shoulders back, which may create a stretch for the front body. Good. Offsetting. Once more, too much sitting perhaps. Good, and release the shoulders. Couple of shoulder rolls. Then taking the body in the opposite direction, bring your chin towards the chest. Slowly roll down. So you can slide your hands down your thighs, your knees, your shins. And just allow your neck to soften. Maybe shake your head, shake your neck out. Say yes, say no. As you exhale, maybe stick your tongue out, really sigh. One more inhale through your nose, exhale. And once more, slowly curl back up to standing, roll back up to standing. Take a moment to land. And then second back bend, bring your hands behind your back, make a fist, or either interlace them, make a fist, draw your fist away. So long arms, straight arms, or arms slightly bent and the elbows draw towards one another. And focusing in on that breath. You can even lift your chin, chest very slightly. So avoid throwing the head back, so just that the chin points up. And attempt to really fill your lungs, send the breath into your belly area. Lovely, last one here. And then release your hands. Once more, slowly fold forward. You can hold onto opposite elbows. Soft bend in your knee. Perhaps a little bit of a sway as you stand in that forward fold. Stretching through your hips.
And then release your hands, arms slowly rolling back up to standing again. Ah. Good. So from the back of your mat, please step forward with your right foot and have your so both feet point in the right in the same direction, bending through the front knee, and kind of just explore bending the knee and straightening the front leg. So you may feel a sensation in your left heel, so you can either take your stance back in or increase your stance if you want to feel more of a stretch. Good. If balance is a little bit wobbly, walk your right foot out a little bit towards the right side. And then bringing our arms in as well. On the inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms out in front. Exhale, straighten your leg, big arm circle. So inhale, reach, bending that front knee, leaning forward, big arm circle, straighten the leg as you come back up. Lovely. So a few rounds here. Good. So it also strengthens that right butt cheek, a little bit the glutes that have maybe become a bit lazy. Maybe there's too much chocolate still stored there, definitely for me. Last one here, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, slowly bring your arms down. Bend both arms behind your back, keeping the stance of your legs still the same. So your hands hold on to perhaps wrists, forearms, and then draw the shoulders back, bending through your front knee as you breathe into your front body. Lovely. Stay for 2 more breaths. Good. And then release your hands and transition into a warrior 3, balancing warrior. So step the back foot in. Arms can be alongside the body or out to the sides on your hips as you lift your left leg. So you can keep the big toe on the floor. You can alternate. You can lean forward more into that T shape. So explore. Keep your gaze steady. You can always hold on to a wall, a chair, any support. Even just keeping the foot here is also warrior 3. So that gives you length. So you're lengthening. You can always just play. Good. And then slowly bring your foot out. Good. A little bit of a hip circle. Yes. Shake that booty. You can bend your knees as well, so keep it soft. Change directions. Lovely. And then, second side. So from the back of your mat, you can step your left foot forward. Find your stance and start kind of just easy as you bend your front knee, keeping the right heel ideally planted into the earth. So gentle movement through the knee joint, as well as lengthening, stretching the right calf. Good. And once you found your stance, warmed up your feet, your legs, you can bring your arms in as well. So inhale, lengthening, bending the front knee. Exhale, straighten your legs. Good. Good. So we're taking the arms intentionally backwards. Maybe there's a little bit of clicking, a little bit of grinding. Lovely. Creating more room. Oiling those shoulder joints. And you may feel it already in your left glute, butt cheek. Last big arm circle here. And then bring your hands, once you're finished, finish your circles, once more behind your back. So hold on to whatever feels accessible. Draw the shoulders back or the elbows squeeze together. And bend that front knee if it feels okay. If you want to challenge yourself also for balance, perhaps close your eyes. So it sounds easy, but you may feel how you automatically feel wobbly and how much your eyes actually are linked to balance. One more deep breath into your front body. And then release your hands. Shift your weight forward as you step the back foot in. Find your balance. So the big toe can be kind of glued to the earth. So any support, feel free to use it. And focusing in on your breath. Lovely. Good balancing. So wherever your hands are. Also balancing is a bit like a muscle. The more we practice it, the better it gets. And then slowly bring your foot back in. Shake it out. A couple of hip circles again. So you may feel one side might feel a little bit tighter, maybe just even stretch it out on the hip. You can lean forward a bit more so that kind of more you're parallel to the floor. The more you might feel it through the outer hip. Good. And then find your way back up to standing. Maybe a bit of a shake also for your legs, for your feet. Cool. And then transitioning towards the floor. So from the back of your mat, you can give you a little bit of free play, so to say, so you can explore a bit more in downward dog. You can come straight into restful, perhaps child's pose if you want. So arms out to the sides, once more lengthening. Exhale, arms out to the sides as you begin to lean forward, fold forward. Full exhale. Halfway lift on the inhale. And exhale, folding forward. Hands down, walk into your downward dog. So a bit of free movement. You can zigzag, crisscross. One leg up, again, depending on energy levels. Perhaps just bringing one heel towards the earth. So really tuning in. Strengthen the shoulders, wrists. And then begin to bring your knees down and lower all the way down onto your belly. So make a cushion with your palms resting your forehead. And just settling into the earth. So we're probably staying here for a little bit longer to really make it a restful transition. So direct the breath into your lower lungs, into that belly area. So let your feet kind of just roll out to the sides on your ankles, your heels. And just checking in how the body feels. Breathing in through your nose, if that feels okay. Exhaling out through your nose, out through your mouth. Stay for 3 more deep breaths. So perhaps feel that compression of your stomach against the floor as you breathe in. And exhale as the lower back softens into your So from here, slowly just bend your knees. Keep your upper body exactly where it is and just circle through your lower legs. So let your legs, like your knees or your feet, kind of just circle. You're rolling from side to side. So that also relaxes the lower back, stretches the quads gently, just softens the body. Perhaps change directions. So you may want to attempt, maybe bring the heels a little closer towards your bottom. Again, just acknowledge maybe any tightness in your thighs. And also bring that movement back to stillness. Once more, stay for 1 or 2 breaths. And then just slowly transition onto your back, just rolling over, literally. And hug both knees towards your chest. So you may hold on to the back of your thighs, to your shins, to your knees. I'm just rocking from side to side. So you may want to do some pelvic circles on the pelvis and the lower back. If you feel like you want to curl together like a little ball, you may want to bring your upper body up, nose towards your knees. And then bring the upper body all the way down. So step your left foot down, holding onto your right knee to your right leg or shin, or maybe back of your right thigh, whatever feels accessible. And just let your right leg hover here. So literally nothing to do, just lengthening through your back. And circling through your right foot. So right ankle perhaps circles while you hold onto the right knee or right shin. Also change the direction of that foot circle. And then bring that foot circling back to stillness, moving into hip circles. So your left hand can rest on your stomach or on the floor beside you. You can guide your right leg, your right knee, just making some hip circles on the right side. So mobilizing through the right hip, you can make smaller circles, you can make bigger circles. If you have space, you can even extend your leg out to the sides, bring it back in. Good. And then bring those circles also back to stillness, holding onto your right thigh, to your right shin again. And if it feels okay, extend your left leg away from you. So we are stretching the left side of our hip. So you may want to bring your right side, your right leg, your right knee a little bit further out towards the right armpit. So instead of letting it hover over your stomach, just guide your right knee towards the right armpit. So we are just opening that angle, or we're changing that angle slightly. So which may cause a bit of a deeper stretch in the hip. And let the body, let the breath also settle here. So a couple of deep breaths. So kind of getting out of the doing mode back into the being mode. One more deep breath. And then bring your knee back to center. Bring your left foot back onto the earth, so your left leg knee is bent. And extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. And then hug your right knee back in. So extending and bending that right leg. So we're releasing here the hamstring, the right hamstring. So notice how it may feel a little bit easier as you do a couple of rounds. And if that's the case, perhaps begin to flex your toes as you extend your leg up. So bending as you bring it in and extending and flexing the toes as you extend the leg up. And pay attention to your breath too. So as you hug your knee in, perhaps exhale, kind of squeezing any that energy out, inhaling, extending it. And if it feels okay, you can keep that leg extended. And letting the sitting bones settle, breathing through those sensations as we release the right side. A couple of breaths. And then bring your right ankle, cross your right ankle over your left knee. So if it feels too tight, walk your left foot away from you. So you make it more accessible. You can use your right hand, press your right leg gently away from you. If you want to deepen the stretch, bring your left leg in towards your chest. So the left heel lifts off the floor. So stretching here through the right outer hip. So hands can rest on your body, on the floor. Perhaps you gently sway your legs if that feels okay. And perhaps remain still. So long, slow, deep breaths into that right outer hip. And with your next breath, bring your left foot down, unhook that right foot, place it down, just take a moment to settle, doing nothing, both knees point up. Breathing in through the nose, exhale, maybe out through a wide mouth. So changing sides, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Let your left leg just hover here. So lengthening the left side of your back, lower back. You may want to circle for the left ankle. You can keep it still, whatever you prefer. And then bring those foot circles back to stillness and move into those hip circles. So your right hand can rest on your right hip on the floor. Oiling, mobilizing for the left hip. Let's change directions. And then bring your left knee back in. Slight change of the angle. So the left knee points out towards the left armpit. So your left leg literally rests on the outside of your left, on the outside of your body. Couple of deep breaths. In through your nose and out through your nose. And then slowly bring your left knee back in and extend your leg up and hug your knee back in. So slowly releasing for the left hamstring. Begin more dynamic, just slowly adjusting to how the body feels. Maybe including the flexion of the left foot. So drawing the heel, pressing the heel towards the ceiling as your toes point towards your head. And for the exhale, hugging your left knee back in towards your chest. If you already want to stay for a little bit of more extension, then keep your leg extended, lifting, letting it just hover here. As you bring your awareness to your breath, breathe through those relatively strong sensations. Two more breaths. And then begin to cross your left ankle over to your right knee. You can adjust for the left hip. Maybe you need to walk your foot away. Perhaps you walk your foot closer. Maybe you lift your right foot off the floor. Mindful breathing, mindful movement without overstraining, without overstretching. Maybe a little bit of a sway. So noticing, how does the left side respond? And is there anything you need to do to adjust? 2 more breaths. And then release your left foot. Bring both feet down. And walk them towards the outer edges of your mat with both knees bent, and windscreen wipe your knees from side to side. A little bit of a stretch for the waist, thigh. Gentle rocking. And then bring that rocking back to stillness. So find your way to bring the practice together, relaxing. Maybe put on any socks, any jumpers, any blankets. You can just remain exactly as you are. Perhaps stretch your legs out. Maybe pop a blanket underneath your knees, your thighs, maybe underneath your head. So adjust anything you want to do. So eyes can be closed or have a soft gaze towards the tip of your nose or towards the ceiling. And just drop your awareness back into your body. Perhaps take stock how you feel compared to when you started. Does the body feel a little more spacious? Does the mind appear to be a little bit more settled? Maybe you feel a certain warmth running through your body, energy moving. Feel the ground underneath you supporting your whole body. Feet and legs. Settling your pelvis. We exhale, perhaps the navel, the belly button. Just releases closer towards the earth. So the body is still, the only thing that's moving is your breath in through your nose and distributing that oxygen throughout the body. Softening the rib cage, your shoulders, your arms and hands. Also softening your neck, softening all the muscles in your face. whole body is at ease. Your breath quiet. And your mind calm. Very slowly and mindfully invite deeper breaths back into your body. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Perhaps bring movement into your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead, stretching from fingertips to toes. Best stretch of the day. And when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. And then roll over to one side. And slowly find your way into any seated position. Good. Taking one more breath in. You can bring your arms out to the sides. Scoop up the new, fresh day and bring it back into your heart. Bow your head towards your heart center. Thank yourself for making time this morning. Namaste. And Happy New Year.